Hello, I'm Jodie from Tales of Cloth, and today I'm just going to run you through some tips and tricks for approaching the Baton Rouge block from the Red Sky at Night quilt. I like to use Aurifil 50 weight thread and Bowen Milliner's needles size 9 for my English paper piecing. I always lay out my block before starting, partly if I'm using scrappy pieces so that I can get a bit of a layout planned, and partly just so that I can see really clearly which units I need to sew together first. Okay, I'm going to start making these sections first. So we're going to take two pieces next to each other and line them up. Often these tails can create a bit of extra length on the end of a diamond, or depending on whether the fabric is folded that way or that way, you get a tiny bit of extra length on the corner. So I make sure that I center it between both ends so that any inaccuracy is balanced out. When I get to this corner, I stitch a couple of extra stitches in the corner, and you can see I've just moved that tail out of the way to get in there. I open it up, I grab the next piece, line it up, place it right sides together, and continue sewing without breaking the thread. Move any tails out of the way. Now I'm here at this next corner, just going to stitch a couple of times through and then put the thread through the loop twice to create a knot, and then I have my first unit. Now I said I'd make these units, but the pattern actually gets me to make these first, and then we're going to sew them around the center. Okay, I finished all my units here, and now I'm going to sew them to the center. Now, one thing to look out for here is that when you have a pieced unit sewn to a center piece, every so often, because of the extra bulk in the center here, it's going to be a little bit longer, and that's completely normal. It happens often. And what I do to help is stick a clover clip on that corner, and I'm going to sew from here along to there and start this edge, making sure these 2 points are aligned, and that way it'll just budge the pieces into the right place. Now that I've finished that line, I'm going to add my next piece. Stick my needle in there to keep it out of the way. And continue sewing around the square. So now I've sewed all of my units around the square. I'm going to sew these joining seams between the diamonds. And before I do that, I'm going to take out this center square piece to make it really easy to put the seams right sides together. So So I've still got my thread attached to this final corner. I line up the diamonds and sew out to the outside of the seam. Now that I've sewn these joining seams, I'm just going to add my low volume diamonds around the entire block. Finally, I'm going to add my triangles to each corner, and I'm going to use my clover clip again to keep the seam lines lined up. You can see too that this triangle lines up with the point of the square, so that's another way to center it. And there's my finished Baton Rouge block from the Red Sky at Night quilt. If you'd like to join us making the Red Sky at Night quilt, grab the pattern and the EPP kit from the shop. Find the links in the caption below. Thanks for watching.